the world with our own hands. This 2 million ton soybean deal with Saudi Arabia, the world with our
Burkina Faso, the dawn of a new era in African sovereignty. My fellow Burkinabe, we stand on the precipice of greatness. Today, we rise as producers, feeding the world with our own hands. The monumental $2.6 billion deal we've secured with Saudi Arabia to send 2 million tons of soybeans marks not just a commercial achievement. It's a declaration of our sovereignty, our pride, and the beginning of a new chapter for Africa. Imagine a land where golden fields stretch beneath a blazing sun, where farmers stand proudly with dirt-stained hands, and where a nation, once defined by hardship, is now feeding the world. This is the Burkina Faso of today, a nation on the cusp of greatness. This isn't just a story about soybeans. It's about power. It's about pride. It's about rewriting history. Picture farmers laughing joyfully as they load their trucks with soybeans, children running through villages with dreams bigger than they've ever been, and a country boldly stepping onto the global stage. Today, we bring you a story that's so bold, so transformative, that it's shaking the very foundations of global agriculture. Burkina Faso has just signed an agreement to export 2 million tons of soybeans to Saudi Arabia, a country known for its wealth in oil but now turning to us to meet its food security needs. This deal isn't just a trade agreement. It is a revolution in the making. It's a powerful assertion of African self-sufficiency. It's a statement that Africa is not just a continent that needs help, it's a continent that can lead. And at the forefront of this revolution is Burkina Faso. From struggle to strength. Burkina Faso, a small, landlocked nation in West Africa, has just achieved something no African country has done before. It's the first to secure a deal to export 2 million tons of soybeans to Saudi Arabia, a global economic powerhouse. This is no small feat. It's a giant leap into the future. For decades, the world saw Burkina Faso through the lens of struggle. Drought, poverty, and food insecurity dominated the narrative. But today, that story has changed. Burkina Faso is rewriting its identity with fields of green and gold, proving that we are a nation of strength, innovation, and ambition. This deal is not about aid or charity. It's not about foreign handouts. It's about trade, on our terms. These soybeans were grown, harvested, and packaged by the hard-working farmers of Burkina Faso, and now they're being shipped across the seas to a kingdom known for its oil wealth. Saudi Arabia, grappling with its own challenges in food production, has turned to Burkina Faso for a solution. This is a turning point. It's a clear message to the world. Africa is not just a place that needs assistance. Africa is a place that delivers. Burkina Faso is blazing a trail for the rest of the continent to follow. The power of soybeans. Why soybeans? What makes this crop so valuable? Soybeans are a true gem of nature. They are incredibly versatile. From food products like tofu, soy milk, and sauces, to oil for cooking and industrial use, to animal feed and even biofuels to power vehicles, soybeans have an undeniable global demand. The global appetite for soybeans is growing, especially as populations increase and diets evolve. However, not all countries can produce them. In places like Saudi Arabia, where desert landscapes dominate and water is scarce, growing food is a challenge. Climate change and disruptions in global supply chains have made it even harder for countries to rely on imports. That's where Burkina Faso comes in. In just one season, Burkina Faso harvested 2.3 million tons of soybeans, a remarkable achievement for a country once known for food scarcity. Now, 2 million of those tons are headed to Saudi Arabia, marking a historic moment for both nations. A bold leadership vision. This transformation didn't happen by chance. It began with the unwavering vision of our leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Since assuming office, Traoré has made it crystal clear that Burkina Faso would no longer wait for others to solve its challenges. Under his leadership, the National Food Sovereignty Program was launched, an ambitious, far-reaching plan designed to not only grow enough food to feed the nation but also to produce a surplus that could be sold to the world. Traoré's vision went beyond merely addressing hunger. It was about seizing control of Burkina Faso's future. He understood that Africa's growth could no longer rely on charity or external aid. It had to come from within, from the very soil of our land. To achieve this, he transformed over 1.5 million hectares of once neglected land into productive farms, cultivating essential crops like millet, maize, sorghum, and, most significantly, soybeans. These vast fields have now become the heartbeat of Burkina Faso's agricultural revolution, symbolizing the country's newfound strength and determination. But Traoré didn't stop there. He recognized that for farmers to succeed and achieve sustainability, they needed more than just land. They needed the right resources and support. So, he took action, providing farmers with high-quality seeds, fertilizers, and efficient irrigation systems to mitigate the effects of unpredictable weather patterns. Realizing that unity was essential to scale up the efforts, he introduced cooperatives that foster collaboration among farmers. In these cooperatives, farmers now work together to share knowledge, resources, and profits. These groups have evolved into the very backbone of Burkina Faso's agricultural growth, helping farmers pool their efforts, boost productivity, and achieve results that would have been unimaginable just a few years ago. Through Traoré's leadership, Burkina Faso's agricultural sector has not only flourished but has also become a model of innovation and resilience for the rest of the continent. By empowering farmers and putting them at the center of the revolution, he has created a sustainable system that can weather the challenges of the future, making Burkina Faso an agricultural powerhouse in Africa. The role of farmers in the revolution. At the very heart of this revolution are the farmers, ordinary people performing extraordinary feats every day. Across villages in Burkina Faso, farmers are not only transforming their land, but also their lives and the future of their communities. A few years ago, many of these farmers were struggling to grow enough food to feed their families. Persistent droughts, soil degradation, and a lack of resources left them with few options and little hope. But today, those same farmers, once overlooked, are now feeding the world, and their fields have become symbols of hope and promise for a better tomorrow. One such farmer is Awa, a woman from a village near Bobo Dioulasso, who once battled to grow enough millet and sorghum to sustain her family. The dry seasons were harsh, and her small plot of land barely produced enough to cover her household's needs. However, everything changed when Awa joined a government-sponsored soybean cooperative. This cooperative provided her with high-quality seeds, and she was educated on the best practices for growing soybeans. With access to better farming techniques and support from the cooperative, Awa was able to harvest an abundant crop of soybeans and was guaranteed a fair price for her produce. Today, Awa is thriving. She has earned enough from her soybean crops to build a sturdy house with a tin roof, send her children to school, and even purchase a motorbike, which has made it easier for her to reach the market and expand her business. She no longer worries about the uncertainty that once defined her life. Awa's story is not an isolated one. There are thousands of farmers across the country, men and women alike, who have experienced a similar transformation. These farmers are the true backbone of Burkina Faso's agricultural revolution. Their hard work and resilience are breathing new life into the country, helping to push it to the forefront of global agricultural markets. This revolution isn't just about high yields, it's about building a sustainable future. As more farmers like Awa join cooperatives and receive the support they need, they are not only improving their own livelihoods but are also lifting up entire communities. They are demonstrating to the world that Africa has the potential to lead in global food production, and that transformation begins with the dedication of its people. Through their hands, Burkina Faso's farmers are sowing the seeds for a prosperous future, and their success is the fuel that powers this agricultural renaissance. The deal with Saudi Arabia. A strategic partnership. The $2.6 billion deal with Saudi Arabia is more than just a business transaction. It is a landmark partnership that benefits both nations in ways far beyond the exchange of goods. Saudi Arabia gains access to 2 million tons of high-quality, non-GMO soybeans grown using sustainable methods. These soybeans are not only an essential part of Saudi Arabia's efforts to secure food stability but also align with their growing demand for eco-friendly, natural products. For Burkina Faso, this deal ensures a guaranteed market for the next 5 years, providing a consistent and reliable income stream for its farmers, which is vital for long-term economic growth and stability. However, this deal is not just about the exchange of crops. It's about establishing a deeper, more meaningful relationship between two nations. Saudi Arabia recognizes Burkina Faso as a trusted and reliable partner, a country capable of delivering high-quality goods. This deal also serves as a recognition of Burkina Faso's rise on the global stage. It's no longer a country that follows in the shadows, it is a nation that leads, reshaping its destiny and positioning itself as a key player in the global agricultural market. The partnership with Saudi Arabia is not only a financial boon but a symbol of Burkina Faso's growing influence and the power of collaboration in shaping a prosperous future for all. The ripple effect for Africa. Burkina Faso's success is not just a victory for the country, it is a beacon of hope and a model for the entire African continent. For far too long, Africa has been unfairly portrayed as a place of poverty, conflict, and dependency. This narrative, shaped by outsiders, has obscured the immense potential and resourcefulness that the continent possesses. But now, Burkina Faso is rewriting that story. It is proving to the world that Africa can lead, not just as a recipient of aid, but as a powerful player in the global economy. This deal with Saudi Arabia is not a one-off achievement. It's just the beginning of a larger transformation. Burkina Faso's success has sparked a ripple effect that is being felt across Africa. Other nations on the continent are taking note of the example set by Burkina Faso and are eager to follow suit. Ghana, Togo, and Mali are already exploring new ways to collaborate on agriculture, tapping into Burkina Faso's model of agricultural self-sufficiency and trade. This cooperation could soon evolve into a regional trade network, a collective force that is capable of competing on the global stage. Burkina Faso's rise serves as a powerful reminder to every African nation. We don't need to wait for permission from the West to succeed. The power to change our future is already in our hands, in our soil, and within our people. By embracing our resources, nurturing innovation, and fostering collaboration, African nations can carve out their own path to prosperity. Burkina Faso's triumph is the proof that Africa doesn't need to rely on others. It has everything it needs to lead the way. This movement is not just about agriculture or soybeans. It's about reclaiming the narrative of Africa's potential, lifting up the continent's future, and building an Africa that stands tall, proud, and independent. As we witness Burkina Faso's agricultural revolution, we are reminded that Africa's time has come. The continent is no longer waiting for the world to act. It is taking the reins and shaping its own destiny. With countries like Burkina Faso leading the way, Africa is poised for an era of growth, innovation, and global influence. Looking ahead, a new vision for Africa. As Burkina Faso continues to grow, it's not just laying the groundwork for its own prosperity, it's building a foundation that will benefit future generations. The strides made today are only the beginning, as plans are already underway for ambitious projects that will enhance the country's economic power and influence. One such project is the construction of a state-of-the-art soybean processing plant, which will create thousands of jobs and significantly add value to the crops being grown. This processing plant will allow Burkina Faso to move beyond raw exports, producing high-value products like soybean oil, meal, and biofuels, which will bring greater revenue to local communities and the nation as a whole. In addition to the processing plant, a biofuel research hub is set to lead the way in green energy initiatives. This cutting-edge hub will pioneer sustainable practices and help Burkina Faso harness the full potential of renewable energy from its agricultural products. The introduction of Africa's first soybean export bank is also a groundbreaking move, providing Sahel farmers with the financial support and resources they need to scale their businesses. This bank will enable long-term sustainability for farmers across the region, ensuring that the agricultural revolution Burkina Faso has started can grow and flourish for generations to come. The world is watching with increasing admiration as Burkina Faso confidently charts its own course, showing that the days of dependency are behind us. This deal, while significant in itself, represents a much larger vision, a vision of a prosperous and self-sufficient Africa. It is a future where nations stand together, produce their own resources, engage in fair trade, and thrive on their own terms. Burkina Faso's success is proof that African nations can step onto the global stage not as subordinates, but as equals. The future is in our hands, and it's a future where Africa doesn't just follow global trends, it leads them. Burkina Faso is setting a precedent, and other nations will follow, as the continent rises to claim its rightful place as a global leader in agriculture, trade, and innovation. Conclusion. Burkina Faso's soybean deal is a powerful step toward a united, prosperous Africa. With the leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the vision of self-sufficiency and global influence is becoming a reality. The Sahel Alliance is growing, and Burkina Faso is leading the charge. This is just the beginning. Let's seize the moment, grow together, and shape a future where Africa is a global leader, respected for its power, sovereignty, and innovation.